Hey guys, how you doing? In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to shoot bullets using a particle system. It's very efficient and looks pretty good. So let's get started. Now, this is something I came across when I was making a game. I first started off just by instantiating a cube and, giving that cube some velocity. That cube would then fly into the object, and when it does, that's when it would hit. It would do the damage. Now, that worked. It did what I wanted it to do. It has an object, the object flies, hits another object, and it creates the damage. But the problem with that was that it was taking up too much system resources, and the more bullets I would shoot, you can see that toll that was taken on the frame. So if I had a machine gun that was shooting just an insane amount of bullets, not even an insane amount of bullets, let's say it was shooting 3 bullets per second, you can immediately see the load in the frame. You can see the drop in frame rate. More so with the shotgun. Geez, when the shotgun went off, the frames just tanked. So that was, for a shooter game, that was out. I'm not doing that. I'm not instantiating a object like that. So secondly, I came across another tutorial on YouTube that introduced me to using raycasting for the bullets. Now this obviously is a lot. All it does is it casts an invisible ray. You can't see it, and that ray that hits the object, I basically use that ray to tell the system that the gun shot a bullet, hit the object, and then I would take the damage away from that object's life bar, or life pool. But the problem with that is the raycasting was instant. So I didn't have the visual of seeing the bullet fly from the gun to the object that it was hitting. So that was out. If you're familiar with a video game called Earthworm Jim, you can't see the bullets, but you can see the impact of the bullets, and that's what I was going with for a while. You can just see the impact of the bullets, and you can see the muzzle flash, and therefore you can infer that there was a bullet traveling. And I did something to try and mimic bullet travel. I added a particle system onto the gun that would also shoot. It would shoot just an effect that would make it look as if a bullet was traveling, but the instant I really wanted bullet travel. I wanted to see the object move from the gun to the other object that it was supposed to be damaging. And so that's when I came up with this idea. And so to get started, what I'm gonna do is first we need something. We really don't need a plane, but I'm gonna put a plane. So 3D object, plane. And we need this to go big, so we're gonna go in the pipe 5 by 5. Alright, and next we're gonna need let's do a cube. This is gonna be the object that we're shooting at. Oh no. Let's move all this. Let's reset these positions to 0. And cube. Gotta move you up over here. That's good enough. I'll make another one, a capsule. Reset the position on that. Five. this one a little bit bigger. And now I'm gonna move my game camera just so I could see this a little bit better. Alright, that looks good enough. So, with our capsule, which is going to be the player shooting the gun, I'm going to create empty. I didn't mean to do that just yet. I meant to create a cube. And we're just going to call this gun. And I'm just going to shape it to look like a little gun. Doesn't really matter, but zero that out. And I created this empty game object a little bit earlier, but what this is going to be is our fire point. So I'm going to reset that transform after I put it on the gun. I'm just going to move it to the tip of the gun, or wherever your gun is going to shoot the bullet from. And we'll just call that fire point. Okay. Now under that fire point, I'm going to create an effective particle system. Yeah, that almost looked like it doing what it's supposed to. See. And in the particle system, okay. I'm going to take the angle to 0. And the radius to 0. Now, let me show you this. Now it's looking like, you know, pew 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 pew. But what I was able to do to manipulate or basically mimic accuracy, you know, some guns are less accurate than others, I would raise this angle up, and now you can see that the bullets are kind of going everywhere now. So, you know, the more accurate the gun, I would lessen this. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna keep it on 0. And what's really important, which makes this work, is this collision. However, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to disable this for a second. Collision. Okay, where's world space? Okay, here, simulation space, we go to world. Here, planes, world. And now they're colliding with the cube. So if I move the cube up here, particle system. And also in the collision tab, we want to send messages. Send collision messages. I gotta take that off of loop. And we'll put that on as low as it can go. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. However, I don't think this actually matters because what we're gonna do is use an emit 1, and I believe the duration doesn't matter, but what is the minimal duration that we'll get? Okay, that's 1, and it bounces back. And the thing with that bounce that's happening is this collision. Right here we have the bounce on 1. If we put the bounce on 0, I believe it's just... no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, if I put the bounce on 0, I believe what it's going to do is just stop right where... not there. So the bounce messed that up like that, huh? What probably is happening is it's colliding with the gun as it comes out. What I'm gonna do with that is the gun, just put that on a different layer. This is an empty project, so I'm gonna just make a new layer. I'll just call this gun. I usually don't make very specific layers like that, but just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just gonna call that gun. So, nope. We'll just put you on transparency effects. Not that that matters. And now we go to collision, collides with, and we want to take gun off. I'll move this back where it was, and we'll hit play. Hopefully this does the trick. Yep. Boom, and it bounces back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that bounce off, and boom. No bounce, stays right there. Now, to get it to stop doing that, you want this lifetime loss. You can put that lifetime loss on 1 or whatever. If you don't, you know, sometimes you do want the bullets to bounce, and that can actually be controlled by a variable within your gun. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to not have any bounce at all. So play, bam, play, bam. Okay, now that is our bullet. We could also, if we wanted to, increase the speed if we wanted to. And 15 feels about right. So with that, the particle system, let me rename this to bullet. And this should be it for the particle system here, but we're going to add C# script, and I'm just going to call that also bullet. So script bullet. I'll call it bullet controller. Okay, so now in this script, I'm gonna need some variables. Click speed. That'll be the bullet speed, and then particle system part. And these are private. And we're going to need a particle collision event so that we can get information from our particle collision. New list. Particle collision event. And one more public variable. Oh, we didn't make that yet. So that's going to give us an error. Let's go ahead and make that script. So I'm going to go to my gun. And we're going to add one called gun controller. Okay, so now that's correct. We will not be needing the update, so what I'm going to do with that, I'll just transform it into the bullet firing. And this is going to need to take, shots. How many shots we're going to shoot? This shots is actually for shotguns, mostly. If the gun is not a shotgun, then of course the shots is always going to be at 1. But this, the shots is how many shots will be fired off at once. This right here, this .emit, the emit counts, it'll shoot off one particle immediately, or shoot off, the whatever integer you put in there, it's going to shoot those particles out immediately. And after knowing that, I was like, this is perfect for me shooting a gun, especially a shotgun. I needed something that can do both pistol and shotgun. This, let's see, gun dot. This is also going to give me an error, but what I want to do is record the number of shots that I had that I fired. We're going to fix that later. And Now for our accuracy, we're going to need, I'll put this down here. For our accuracy, we're going to need to get the particle collision shape, so part.shape, and then with the shape, part s, dot angle. This is the angle that I was showing you earlier. Like if the value is wider, or if the value is higher, then that makes the angle of the shot wider, basically making the gun more inaccurate. Just in case you need that, I'll do a simple equation here. So basically, this gun accuracy, this is going to be our accuracy stat on the gun. If our gun accuracy, you can see that this equation, if our gun accuracy is 100, then the angle is going to be 0, and that bullet is going to shoot wherever you point it. However, you know, if you start going down on the accuracy, you can notice that the angle will widen up. Yeah, the angle's gonna widen up, and this is gonna make the bullet shoot in random directions. And that's it for this function. We could delete that code right there, or a comment. Now there's another function that we need, and this one comes from the syn collisions that we added to our particle system. So all you have to do is type on particle collision. Wow. And all that'll pop up, and there's various ways of detecting what a collision, but what I'm going to do for this one, I'm just going to use a compare tag, so other.compare tag. The tag I'm going to use for this one is player. I could make my own enemy or set it as whatever I want, but player is already created, so I'm just going to use player. And if it hits something with the tag player, we're going to do something. But in this case, all I'm going to do is, going to do a debug message. And that debug message is just going to be hit space other.gameObject. And that's it for a bullet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into gun. We're going to make these variables right here, shots fired and accuracy. So yeah. Okay, so now in our gun, we're going to need some public variables, integer, shots. This will be how many shots the gun fires off at once. By default, I'm just going to set that as 1. And then the shots fired, so that we can count how many projectiles that we're shooting. And I'm making these well, this one right here probably has to stay public. Shots fired, I'm just making these public so that I can see them. There's also a alternate way you can The alternate way would be to go into the inspector and hit debug, and you'll be able to see the private variables. Okay, so we have public bullet controller, because we need that. I'll just call that bullet. And two more other important variables. One is public, the other doesn't need to be public, but again, as I said, so I can see it, just going to make it, oops, this is an integer, no, this is a float. And then there is another one, we'll just call this the fire rate counter. And of course, we forgot to put it in. We're going to make that equal 100 by default. And here for the initialization, we're going to get our bullet. So if we do not have a bullet, then our bullet is equal to get component and children bullet controller. And now if we do have a bullet, then bullet dot gun equal this. So basically, if we do have a bullet, then the gun is gonna basically tell that bullet that we are, you know, basically we are the gun that it's being fired from. So now we're gonna move down to the update. The update is simple, because all we're gonna need to do in the update is just give ourselves a way to fire off that bullet. So in that update, input dot get key code dot space. Just use a space bar to fire off our bullets. And now this is a very important if statement. This line specifically, if time is greater than or equal to the fire rate counter. So basically, if the time that has passed is bigger than the fire rate counter, we're going to do something, and that thing that we're going to do is finally fire the bullet. Now, that takes an integer in there, so we're gonna put our shots in there, and to end this if statement off with the second very important line, fire rate counter equal time.time plus 1 divided by fire rate. Now, that line right there is something that you should remember, and make sure that usually it's coupled with this. Basically, what this line acts as, it acts as a timer without using a timer, because there's already a timer on time.time, but this variable, it just saves a number that's smaller than this. This basically breaks this down into a second. So I'll show you how that looks in game, and you know, I'll be able to better explain it when I'm shooting the bullets at the same time. But this basically means, like, if my fire rate was 3, this is going to shoot 3 bullets in 1 second. If it's 10, it's going to shoot 10 bullets in 1 second. And that's where that division comes in there. It's, you know, it's dividing that 1 second into so many bullets per second. So, with that done, I believe we are done with the coding. What I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll through this slowly from the top down. And for a bullet, this speed variable is something that I'm not using right now, but you can always apply that to the particle system speed. In fact, I can write that line really quickly. However, let's make sure we do this. Make our speed by default equal 15, as we had set it in the particle system earlier. So, okay, we'll just speed. What? Sorry, wrong thing. We're gonna need another variable. Part m equals part.main and part m does start speed. Start speed equals speed. There we go. And that's it for this. Wait, I forgot something very important. We forgot to Alright, now we are done. It's just a little small code there. And we'll go back into Unity. Let this compile. Alright, no errors. Good, good, good. Okay, so let's see some of these variables that we have. Bullet. Make sure that speed is on 15 like it is here. Gun should autofill itself. And in the gun, shots fired. Bullet, we need to drag the bullet in here. We actually don't need to do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because we put a line in our start function that actually grabs the bullet for us, but if you drag the bullet in here, then it'll save your system some resources. So fire rate, and fire rate, we need to put that on something so it's not firing 0 bullets per second. I will put this on 3 bullets per second. The accuracy, we're going to leave that at 100, and then we're going to hit play. These errors that pop up, that was, they're gone now. I'll show you again. Oh, they're gone now. But yeah, that's related to the universal render pipeline. I have no clue how to fix those, but it's not interfering with the game in any kind of way, visually or anything like that. But back to the bullets. Now all we have to do is hit the space bar, and we're shooting a bullet. Okay, something went wrong here. The bullet speed did not save. I don't know why I did that, but it's fixed now. See, that bullet speed is actually not supposed to be on the bullet itself. It's actually supposed to get that from the gun, but yeah, if you know what you're doing, then you can easily just make the speed a public variable and just transfer it over. I mean, you could either put it on the gun or put it in the bullet itself. I would suggest that you put it in the gun. That way you can have this bullet basically go into different guns, and you know, it can go faster or slower depending on, you know, what type of gun you have. But yeah, you're shooting your bullets, and you can see here it says hit Q so many times. Now if I go back to the gun, when I hit spacebar, shot fired, shot fired, shot fired, and it's incrementing by 1. We'll play with the fire rate. I'll put it on 1, which means it's going to shoot 1 bullet per second. 3, 4. Okay, and then I'll put this on 100. Oops, 100. It's going to shoot 100 at a time. We're going to lower this to 10. Okay, and our accuracy. Now the accuracy, if you set that thing on 0, it's going to shoot everywhere. It's probably going to do that on a lot of values, so you're probably going to have to set that almost like all the way up to 95, and then you get that. So like if I even set it on 90, I mean, you can have a gun that shoots that way, but I don't think it's going to shoot anything, hit anything. But we're also going to check the scene view. And in the scene view, I'm just going to go to the, you know, over the shoulder cam just so that you can see how it's going in on the x-axis, how the spread is on the x-axis. But yeah, shooting bullets, and I guess this is going to be the end of the tutorial. This is where I'm going to end it. I might add on to this later, showing how to you know, do extra bullet stuff like muzzle flash, you know, impact hit, taking life from the object. But for now, I'm gonna just leave it at this. You're shooting your bullets, they're impacting with whatever, like they're impacting with the ground as well as the cube itself. And our cube is the enemy, so it's hitting our enemy. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. If you got some bullets shooting at the cube and you're satisfied with that, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, But thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.